Yep, right there's all the Super Mario Brother characters. There's 25 characters there. With the star, with the mushroom, and Super Mario Brothers, Luigi, and Bowser, and all them, the turtles. That's Super Mario Brothers characters. And and today is 8/5/2015. And all right. So now I'm recapping. I'm recapping my decade by decade. I'm recapping my life decade by decade. And so I was born 6/19/1958, and today is 8/5/2015. So that puts me about 57 on. But I got my first knee bounce in 1958. I was born 6/19/1958, so I went to see Santa Claus in December, the middle part of December. So that's when I first got my knee bounce. My first knee bounce from Santa Claus. And I can't say much about the 1950s because I was only 2 years old. I was only 2 years old in 1960, so now I'll go from 1960 to 1970. So that's 10. That's a decade. That's 10 years. So I went to school. Went from kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and elementary school. That's grammar school or elementary school. And I went to kindergarten twice. I got held back in kindergarten. And so I was like the older kid throughout school. I was like the year older kid, but I was always small, so I never showed it or act like it. So I was just another kid, But in my gym class, my gym hour of my elementary years, the gym teacher picks who goes up to represent the school for the physical ability, like track and jumping and running. And well, I got picked for running long jump, and I got picked for 50-yard dash, and I got second place in 50-yard dash because it was a photo finish, and they said they were going to run it over, but they never did. His foot was like here, and my foot was like there, like that. So it was a photo finish for the 50-yard dash. Okay. Now for the run long jump, I took that first place, no hands down, first place. I jumped 10 foot, 10 and a half inches, about 10 foot 11 inches. We run down the dirt and into sand. Well, before that, my friend in the backyard, he was right in back of me, and he was my friend, and he's like a year younger than me, but we used to go to school and we used to see how far we could jump cement squares, where they partition them off. We jumped those squares. And that's where I got the run long jump at, and I took that hands down. I got first place. And before that, though, we did rope climbing, rope climbing, and I was like, I saw and there's like all the kids were circling around the rope, and teacher would tell us who went next. So there's about 15 kids went before me, and then I saw how they're doing it. They're using their hands, their feet, 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 and they're all struggling. Some would only go halfway, some would go all the way to the top. And they're all struggling though. I'm going, shit, when it comes to me, I'm going to hit that rope, go hand over hand up, hand over hand down. And that's exactly what I did. Went hand over hand up, went hand over hand up, hand over hand down, without even using my feet. And so everybody in the class started going, yay, yay, because I did it so fast. And I did it just with my hands. No one else did it with just their hands. So that I wowed the class. I wowed them. I wowed the teacher too. And she comes over and says, she or he, it was she. She come over and said, well, you did that the fastest ever out of like 15 grade schools around that area. You know, elementary schools around that area. I'm going, wow. And I wowed the class. Okay. And then when I went for track, I got first place in my long jump, 10 foot, 10.5 inches, running down the dirt in the sand, and then I got second place for 50-yard dash. So I'm talking about the 1960s to 1970s. So then I graduated from grammar or elementary school. Went to Millwood Junior High, which is over off Miller Road, which is about a half mile from my house. And my house, I lived in my house at 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan 49001 since birth. Okay, because what happened is my mom and dad lived in a little brick house that had 2 bedrooms, and they had 2 boys and 1 girl already, so that was too small. My uncle was a professional house builder since he made the business in like 1940, I think. Oh, my dad was born in 1920, and my mother was born in 1927. He asked. That's my uncle, so that's my dad's brother. He asked, my dad if he wanted him to build a house. He said, hell yeah. So he built it. And back then it only cost $7,500 to build a brand new house. So he tore down the old house, the brick house, 2-bedroom house, tore that down, and then built a new one. And I lived in it since birth. And then when I went to, I was done with elementary. I graduated elementary, then went to Millwood Junior High, which is 9th, 10th, and 11th. Or, yeah, right, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Come on. 7th, 8th, and 9th. 7th, 8th, and 9th was junior high, and that was Millwood Junior High. And it was off of Mill Road, and it was about a half mile, about the same distance from my elementary school, the other way, though. And so I started playing ping pong, I think just before I went to Millwood Junior High, which is my middle school, junior high. And I was like a ping pong champion of the school. I was in the top 5, and everybody feared me, and especially the girls. They hated me because they knew how damn good I was. And I was like the smallest person. I was like under 5 foot at the time, I think. Right now I'm 5'4" inches tall, and back then I was small for the kids, even though I was like a year older. But so, I was like a champion ping pong player. I was great. And that's basically all we did there. So I'm talking from 70 to 80. I'm talking from 1970 to 1980. So then I graduated from junior high school and went to Lower Norks High School. And they're located on Kilgore Road. So I graduated from there in 1977, but in gym class, the Marines would always come and test the kids to see the physical ability and what shape they're in. And the first year, my 10th grade year, I only got the second best and award. So then I decided that when I'm at home, I'd work out and jump rope and run and push up and pull up and do all that for the following year. So my 11th grade year, the Marines came again, and only 5 kids out of the whole school. At that time, they changed the grades from 10th, 11th, 12th to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So I had four grades in the school now, the high school. So only five people got the certificate of excellence from the Marines, saying you're in top physical condition. And 5 kids got it, and I was one of them. And so I was one. The track star was one. Football player was one. A wrestler was one, and a baseball player was one. So all the other kids were in the sports. I wasn't. So the track star comes up to me and says, "Well, if you can do all that, why don't you go out for sports for your school?" And I says, "I'm only here for one thing only, and that's to graduate." So. Oh, then we had a tournament. We had a ping pong tournament going in high school in our gym class, and I was beating everybody. And track star guy is okay, but I could beat him easily. I mean, I didn't have no problem beating him. I beat him before. So, yeah, it came down to me and him in a ping pong tournament. Guess what? The ping pong tournament got canceled. Because they didn't want to see a nobody, someone who doesn't do sports for the school, take that tournament. So they canceled it. So I knew I was going to win that anyway. That wasn't even going to be a challenge. But, and then in high school, let's see, my dad died on April the 3rd, 1976. So he died of a heart attack. He was a WW2 World War II vet, and he died with full honors and flag over his casket. And then, let's see, I got after a year or so, when I turned 18, I got his Social Security as long as I'm a full-time student and 22 years old and a full-time student. So I was getting his Social Security, so I got a Datsun truck, so I could get back and forth to school, and so I drove in my 11th and 12th grade. I got my driver's license in 1976, and then I got the Datsun truck, four on the floor, Datsun truck, and for $1,400, 1976. But and then I was janitor there. I was janitor at the school for co-op for more credits, and before that, each year I'd go to summer school for 2 years. The first year before 10th grade, I got history because I had to have history as one of the credits, and then the next year I went to the summer school for government. So, and then I was janitor after that at the school because my dad died within that time. And then let's see, so I had extra credits there, and then I had credits as working as a janitor at the school. I got credits for that, 2 credits I think. And so my 12th grade year, I only had to have one, like 2 or 3 more credits. So I had one what do you call it? The a major class work, for working on it, and that was welding. Anyway, I only had like one class, and I worked in the office for a couple hours, I think it was, and then I graduated in 1977. June 1977, I graduated. Okay, and then I went to work for a furniture company, and then I impressed them guys with my strength and ability, but I didn't want to learn the roads. I just didn't like to do that, so I didn't want to learn the roads. So I got let go. And then I went to another furniture company, and they were assholes. So then I started 1978. I started in Kalamazoo Valley Community College, and because I got paid to go there because of my dad's Social Security because he died. So I got paid there as long as I was 22 and full-time student. So I took a lot of like volleyball, tennis, golf, and bowling, and physical fitness class. Actual physical fitness class, modern dance class. That was like a just like a gym class, and karate. Took karate, Okinawan karate, but I already outranked everybody because I was taking karate when I was in high school. In my 1977, my high school year, my last year, I was taking karate already. So I already outranked everybody. I just took that for an easy class in Kalamazoo Valley Community College. That's on O Avenue in Oshtemo, and it's Kalamazoo Valley though. So I did that, and then let's see. So in 1979, I went to Kalamazoo Valley, 78 and 79. So about 2 years, and then after that, I got a job at Elam Brothers, an office supply place, and I worked there for 2 years. And during that time, we had a tornado in Kalamazoo, 1980 tornado. Um, it's May 3rd, 1980 tornado. They got downtown. Um, Downtown is in the valley, and most of Kalamazoo is in the valley where they got hills on east or north and south and east and west. There's hills on, so it's in the valley. So we didn't ever think there'd be a tornado downtown. And May 3rd, 1980, there's tornadoes. And I was working at Eden Brothers from 1980 to 82. 1980 to 82. So as a material handler and forklift driver and actually I wasn't a material handler. I was shipping receiving, and I did some forklift driving. But then after that, I found a job at Total Plastics. But okay, so and I'm talking about 1970 to 1980. So let's see. Okay, I had they came out with Pong 1974, and then I think Atari came out with the Atari 2600 with interchangeable cartridges in 1975, I think it was. And that's when I really started collecting video games. And 1979 is when MTV came out, so in 1970, right at the end of the 70s, so it was 1979, MTV, where they show rock and roll, or they play rock and roll music, and have a cool ass video with it. Man, I was hooked on that. I love that. So from 1970 to 1980, or not 1970 1980, because rock and roll started. MTV rock and roll started in 1979. So, and then from 1979 to 1990 was when I watched video games, or not video games, videos, rock and roll videos with the music. And that's when I got into music. 1979 to 1990, because in 1980 to 1990, MTV rock and roll all the way. I loved it. And I was playing video games and different systems like Atari 2600, television, the Odyssey 2, TurboGrafx 16, and I think those were later. But those were 8-bit systems. But anyway, that was what I did from 1970 to the 80s. And that 1980, May 3rd, 1980 tornado was the biggest deal in Kalamazoo, that's for sure. Yep, that was for sure. So that was what I did. So 1970 and 1980. And from 1980 to 1990 was MTV rock and roll videos, and I love that. And better video games, and let's see, 80 to 90. My mother died in 1989. She died on June 18, 1989, of a lung cancer. My mom and dad both were smokers, but that's all they did. They didn't drink. They didn't drink or smoke dope or nothing.
Good afternoon. The indoor temperature is 74.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The outdoor temperature is 77.7 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's my talking thermometer. So that means this is about 20 minutes long. This video is about 20 minutes long. So that's about where I want to stop. And then my next videos will tell you the rest. Today is 8/5/2015. Ha ha.